live from Las Vegas. This is 13 Action News. Good morning, Las Vegas.
Right now on Good Morning Las Vegas, unbelievable acts caught on camera. Homeless people using a local parking lot for their personal needs. Developing this morning, he's one step closer to the Supreme Court. Judge Brett Kavanaugh could become a justice in a matter of hours. And everyone's in town for the big fight. Khabib and McGregor facing off tonight at T-Mobile Arena. Good Morning Las Vegas, I'm Tom George.
Meteorologist Justin Bruce. Don't you wish we had weigh-ins at work where we could be like the UFC guys or the boxing guys and just really get it all out there?
It might wake us up at 3 a.m. like Fight Club, you know.
yeah, that's true. I like the more relaxed, coffee-centric attitude we've got here in the station. We are looking at actually a pretty interesting weekend, weather-wise, coolest weekend we've had since the springtime.
Yeah.
Highs are only going to be in the 70s today.
Like fall's here.
Fall's really here. We've also got rain and wind to talk about. So not perfect weather, but interesting weather. 60s this morning. Your 13-hour forecast runs from 7 a.m. all the way through 8 p.m. And as we slide into the afternoon, numbers climb into the mid and the upper 70s. Also, though, the threat of some passing showers and even thunder showers later this afternoon into this evening. 69 right now at McCarran. Yeah, pretty nice. No complaints about 60s around the valley. 65 Green Valley. Looks like high temperatures will stop short of 80 degrees. So I've had to dial the numbers back a degree or two today. Only forecasting 79 today and 75 tomorrow. That's a cool weekend, even by October standards. Tom, we're watching a few light showers to our north in Lincoln County. They're moving toward Utah. No big impact for us this morning. Dry weather this morning, but this afternoon, these showers sneak into Las Vegas. I'll time out when the rain and thunder chances will arrive in just a moment.
All right, thanks, Justin. Well, we want to warn you about this next story. Some of the videos and images you're about to see may be disturbing. Unbelievable things, graphic things caught on camera outside a downtown nonprofit. In this picture, you can see there a man is bathing himself, but it gets much worse. The executive director says homeless people have been using their parking lot for bathroom needs and even sex acts. 13 Action News anchor Carla Wade explains how their executive director is taking action.
This is kind of where all the action happened.
The Embracing Project works with young survivors of sex trafficking and violence. And outside their back door is where Executive Director Esther Brown is confronted with the issues of another of our community's most vulnerable citizens, the homeless.
Anything you can think of, it happens in this little area.
Surveillance video captures it all. A woman defecating, a man engaged in a lewd act, another man who appears to be arguing with an imaginary figure, this man using their water to bathe, and several just hanging around. To discourage it, they've posted signs, installed cameras, increased lighting, but still spending hundreds of dollars on a professional cleanup company to remove the waste.
This is a health issue. This is affecting all of us here in the downtown area.
She's called police. They can only cite them with trespassing.
And I think the city needs to take responsibility and start building some access to those services.
We reached out to the city, which encouraged the homeless to seek the available shelter. They sent us a statement which said in part, the city is working with service providers, faith groups, and other community partners to bring needed services to help our homeless population get off the streets and gain employment, housing, and the skills they need to re-enter society. Carla Wade, 13 Action News.
Another heartbreaking story, a family grieving the loss of a mother mauled to death by her own pet dog. Police say this happened inside Susan Sweeney's home. Sweeney is remembered as being a kind person by her friends. She used to be a cake decorator, and she's the mom of 2 sons. She was apparently home alone when this attack happened. Her husband came home from work Monday night and discovered her dead in their living room. Neighbors are shocked by what happened.
I've owned dogs since I was little, so it's very rare to see that, and it's very scary.
Now that dog, a Mastiff mix, had just been adopted from the Animal Foundation. The Animal Foundation says they had no concerns about the dog prior to all this, and there was nothing that led them to believe that that dog was unsafe. The dog was euthanized at the request of the family. Well, after weeks of partisan bickering, Brett Kavanaugh is just hours from confirmation to the U.S. Supreme Court. ABC's Stephanie Ramos is on Capitol Hill with all the details.
Today, Judge Brett Kavanaugh is set to become the Supreme Court justice who tips the balance of the court toward conservatives for decades to come. It's the most divisive confirmation vote for a Supreme Court nominee in U.S. history. Protesters all over Capitol Hill demanding lawmakers vote against Kavanaugh. But the protests and the FBI investigation into allegations of sexual assault against Kavanaugh, which he denies, not enough to sway lawmakers. A dramatic showdown moved forward as Republican Senator Susan Collins from Maine, the last undecided GOP senator, said in a 45-minute meticulously crafted speech Friday that she would vote to confirm Kavanaugh, adding there was not sufficient corroboration to the decades-old allegations made by Dr. Christine Blasey Ford.
The presumption of innocence and fairness do bear on my thinking, and I cannot abandon them.
Leaving the Capitol, GOP Senator Jeff Flake, who demanded the FBI do its investigation, makes clear he too stands with Kavanaugh.
I'm glad we had a better process.
His colleague, Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, breaking ranks with her GOP colleagues, voting no.
I could not conclude that he is the right person for the court at this time.
Murkowski plans to vote present instead of no today in place of another GOP Senator, Steve Daines, so he can attend his daughter's wedding. Democratic Senator Joe Manchin voting yes for Kavanaugh in the procedural vote and says he'll vote yes again today.
At the Capitol, Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
We'll be watching, and many Nevada voters have been watching this confirmation closely. Of course, one vote could sway a decision this big. It all goes to show the importance of these upcoming elections. According to the Secretary of State, a record number of Nevadans have registered to vote this year, with Democrats now holding an advantage over the Republicans with a close 38% to 34%. And if you're still not registered to vote, time is running out. You have until October 9th to register by mail, register in person by October 16th, or register online by October 18th. It takes just a few minutes. We have a link to register online. Just go to ktnv.com/links. Well, Conor McGregor's much anticipated return to the UFC octagon happening in just a matter of hours. Yeah, weigh-ins for Khabib and McGregor getting a little chippy at T-Mobile Arena yesterday. McGregor will try to hand Khabib his first ever loss tonight. And it's safe to say Conor will definitely have a lot of support despite being the underdog. You see there, this was the scene at T-Mobile Arena. Lots of Irish flags waving there. Thousands of his fans in town for the big fight. And this weekend, you're going to want to avoid the Spaghetti Bowl. This is a live lookout at the roadways. NDOT has closed northbound and southbound 95 at the 15. That closure will last until 5 o'clock Monday morning. The ramps around the Spaghetti Bowl will be open during that time, but you will be forced off the 95 before you even get to the 15. Well, a frustrating situation leaves several neighbors in Summerlin stranded inside their own homes. People living near Sahara and Wallapai woke up to find their tires slashed earlier this week. At least a dozen tires were slashed, and now people are being forced to foot the bill for repairs as Metro continues to investigate. Neighbors tell us they found out just how bad the situation was thanks to their Nextdoor app.
Having two cars go down to one, it's kind of complicated, so hopefully we'll be able to fix it by the end of the week.
I just don't understand why anybody would do something like this.
Well, neighbors tell us this situation has forced them all to keep a better eye out for one another. Well, happening today, the Great American Foodie Fest continues this weekend down in Henderson. It's happening at Sunset Station Casino. It's one of the largest food-centric festivals on the West Coast. More than 40,000 foodies attend the 4-day festival. The festival includes some of the best specialty food vendors and gourmet trucks around. It runs through tomorrow. The former Lakers superstar Magic Johnson will be honored by the city of Las Vegas next week. Johnson will receive a key to the city from Mayor Carolyn Goodman. He'll be in town throwing a pop-up concert at Mandalay Bay Beach, and several big acts are on tap, including Snoop Dogg. MGM is giving away 4,000 tickets to the event. Some will be given to survivors of the 1 October shooting. Well, good morning, everyone. Coming up, Show Me the Money up next, how you can get in on the big jackpots that are up for grabs this weekend.
We are looking at a little bit of light rain up to the north of Las Vegas early this Saturday morning. It would be Saturday afternoon when some isolated showers, potentially thunder showers, could swing in from the west. That rain chance ramps up after dark. We'll see how likely rain is in your neighborhood and talk about a big cool down in the 7-day planner.
A Georgetown law student was just trying to get to her guitar lesson when she crossed a busy Washington street in her wheelchair. She didn't see an oncoming car, but a bystander caught her attention and yelled at her to turn back.
Before I could even say anything, he was just like, ma'am, you gotta get off the street. There's incoming traffic. And the only thing that could come out of my mouth was, oh my goodness, are you Senator Sanders? And he was just like, yes, but you have to get off the street.
That's right, Senator Bernie Sanders to the rescue. The pair made it safely off that busy street, and Amy got to take a picture with the senator that has since gone viral. That guy is everywhere. Remember when he was speaking and that bird just like flew onto the podium?
Sort of, kind of. I once had to, I didn't almost run him over, but he was jaywalking and I had to abruptly stop my vehicle because former Vice President Al Gore was walking out of the Mexican food restaurant in my neighborhood in Nashville. Let's pump the brakes here.
Paying it forward, you saved him, Bernie Sanders saves her.
There we go.
Just good karma everywhere.
Yeah, I suppose. I didn't want to be a part of that news headline, that's for sure. We have got interesting weather this weekend, Tom. If folks are doing stuff outside, going to be a lot cooler than what we've gotten used to. We went from the throes of summer right into what feels like Halloween type weather. Yeah. You know, typically on the 31st of October, our average high would be about 74. Well, tomorrow I'm forecasting 75, so really more like late October than early October. It's the 6th of the month today. 79 is my call this afternoon. That is below average. Even cooler on Sunday, 10 degrees below average with those highs in the mid-70s on Sunday. And Monday, not too far off of that at 77. A little bit of a north breeze developing today, but the gusts should be limited to 20 miles per hour. Sunday looks a bit more windy. 30-mile-per-hour gusts coming in from the north and the northwest throughout the day Sunday, and still some lingering north winds on Monday. You know the deal. When the wind comes in from the north, it usually drags some cool air with it, and that's the weather plan for the next 3 to 4 days. We are watching a couple of benign light showers in Lincoln County. They're headed due east over toward the 15 through Utah. It looks like later this afternoon, as our temperatures climb into the upper 70s, we'll have this cold air aloft with the storm system moving through the west, and that's going to generate enough instability to, you see it right there on Futurecast, give us some isolated showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder. We're not looking at any sort of a severe weather threat, but a rumble of thunder will be possible this afternoon. What we can count on, though, this morning, clouds up to our north, kind of partly cloudy in Las Vegas, but it should be essentially dry for your Saturday morning and Saturday midday plans. Shortly thereafter, 1, 2, 3 p.m., we are talking about at least an isolated shower, thunder shower. And watch this. As we head towards sunset, which is after 6 p.m. this time of year, we've got more widespread showers and thunder showers sneaking from west to east, maybe favoring the south side of the valley, but anyone around Las Vegas, as well as our friends over in Pahrump, could catch some downpours as we head toward the late afternoon and slide into the evening. Dry on Sunday, windy and even cooler tomorrow. A little breezy Monday. We'll keep it in the 70s Monday and Tuesday, Tom. Wednesday as well, but we are back in the low 80s by Thursday and Friday.
Well, if you have dreams of becoming a multimillionaire, they could come true this weekend. The Mega Millions and Powerball jackpots are now worth more than $600 million. Wow. Well, nobody won the Mega Millions drawing last night, and the Powerball drawing is today for $253 million. But you'll have to go to either Arizona or the California state line to get those lottery tickets. You can bet the lines in Prim are going to be pretty long. Well, a man proving not all heroes wear capes. A Houston Astros fan, Eddie Flores, was at the game last night. He predicted that George Springer would hit a homer, and he promised his entire section free beer if it happened. Well, he's a man of his word. Sure enough, that's exactly what happened in the 5th inning. And true to his word, Flores bought about $500 worth of beer for his new best friends. Well, straight ahead, broken trust. A family outraged, claiming a nursing home neglected their mother. Darcy Spears investigates what they're calling a wrongful death. You're watching Good Morning Las Vegas. We'll be right back on this Saturday morning. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, it's tough to trust, especially when you're trusting outsiders to care for vulnerable family members. Chief Investigator Darcy Spears has a cautionary tale of one family's broken trust. They claim their mother was neglected to death in a facility that was supposed to help her heal.
She was a great mother. We had a great childhood. Smiling and joking at family gatherings is how Margaret Newberry's sons and daughters would like to remember their 80-year-old mother. Even after an operation to have a tracheal tube inserted, Margaret managed to smile, but that's when she was still at the hospital. It's what happened in the 41 days afterward that haunts her family.
To this day, it haunts me. What she went through haunts me.
I was just really outraged that a medical facility would not do their job.
The medical facility they're talking about is College Park Rehabilitation Center, a skilled nursing facility on East Cheyenne where Margaret was sent after surgery in January 2016.
She was good to go. She wasn't going to be dancing on Friday night, but she was definitely better.
Her family was realistic but optimistic that they'd have more time, more smiles with Mom.
Why were they sending her to College Park? To get better? Then again, I just put my faith in the system, which I will never do again.
Joseph and his siblings lost their faith because of what they say happened at College Park. The family filed a civil lawsuit claiming wrongful death and elder abuse after Margaret passed away from septic shock due to a urinary tract infection.
You firmly believe that they killed your mother?
Yes. They did not provide medical treatment. She wasn't treatable. They should have sent her to the hospital. Not left her laying there.
Court records show when Mrs. Newberry finally made it to the hospital, it was because the daughter who shares her name became her voice.
What was it like for you that last day trying to get them to listen to you?
Frustrating, and especially when you're pleading with them, can you please call an ambulance, and they're telling you no.
The family's civil suit claims by the time Margaret got to the Desert Springs ER, she was in septic shock and suffering from multiple infections, dehydration, and organ failure.
Their mother went to this facility to be rehabilitated, made better.
Neil Hyman is the family's attorney. His complaint alleges conscious disregard for safety, life, and health, citing lack of hygiene and nutrition, excess bed sores, withholding medication, falsifying medical records, failure to transfer patient to hospital on numerous occasions when her health and ultimately her life depended on it, and failure to notify doctors and family of conditions. Court records show the bill for Margaret's month-and-a-half stay at College Park was $35,500.
They were inhumane. They just treated her like she was a paycheck to them. Left her there, didn't even clean her.
Desert Springs medical records document very poor hygiene and say Margaret arrived at the hospital malnourished and dehydrated with feces on her feeding tube. Elder Protective Services was called in and substantiated the allegation of neglect, although further investigation by the State Department of Health and Human Services was unable to substantiate the same allegation.
I called the administrator here at College Park regarding the allegations, and she had their lawyer call me back. He said they wouldn't comment on anything, citing privacy concerns. When I told him the family would sign a privacy waiver, he said they also wouldn't talk because of the pending lawsuit.
In court records, College Park denies any negligence or improper treatment, saying it used reasonable care and diligence and acted according to its best judgment. Its expert witness blamed Margaret's bed sores on neglect by a prior rehabilitation hospital and blamed her decline on underlying diseases and other factors, including a terminal illness. He said even though she went to College Park for rehab, she met the criteria for hospice.
At any point when they couldn't think they could handle it anymore, they could have said to us, hey, she's not going to make it. Let's send her to a hospice, get her ready for this. But no one ever did.
The family's medical expert found something else that makes them suspicious about Margaret's care at College Park. Court records show certified nursing assistants wrote in her medical chart that she received specific care during time periods she wasn't even there. They claim to have repositioned her in bed at a time when she was off-site at a doctor appointment. They claim to have given her a partial bed bath, assessed her skin as clear, and that she was repositioned by 2 staff members almost 6 hours after she was transferred out to the emergency room.
The medical records are expected to be reliable.
College Park also has years of deficiencies documented in state inspections, including unrelated violations for many things, including lack of hygiene, insufficient nursing staff, and residents not being turned, resulting in bed sores. The federal government's website for Medicare gives College Park 2 out of 5 stars, rating it either below or much below average for staffing and quality measures.
It puts a stain on the industry.
And leaves a hole in the fabric of this family that will never heal.
It's not the same when she's not there. We're all pretty close, so well, we have each other.
THI owns College Park Rehab. There are 25 THI facilities in Nevada and more in other states, many of which have also faced wrongful death and negligence lawsuits. Darcy Spears, 13 Action News.
Good work. Thanks, Darcy. Well, good morning, Las Vegas. Still ahead this morning, a stolen car involved in a crash. But who's responsible? We're getting answers to the many questions. The Me Too movement started a year ago. How the allegations against movie mogul Harvey Weinstein sparked worldwide change.
Now, live from Las Vegas, this is 13 Action News. Good morning, Las Vegas.
Right now on Good Morning Las Vegas, iPhone Body Cam, a new app being used to record police and how you can activate it. A hungry bus driver now suspended. The new questions about what drivers are allowed to do behind the wheel. A new service right here in the Valley, perfect for all you night owls, what you have to do to get your passport at any time. Good morning, Las Vegas. I'm Tom George. We want to head on over to 13 First Alert meteorologist Justin Bruce making a special morning cameo on the weekend for us.
Yeah, I love hanging out early on the weekends, especially when the weather is as interesting as it's going to be over the next couple of days. Tom, we're waking up to clouds. That's not something we always do here in the Valley. Just a couple minutes away from official sunrise. And look at the Valley view, Cam. Yeah, we'll have briefly some nice little shades of pink and orange as the sun comes up across the eastern horizon. But the clouds will stubbornly be a part of your Saturday sky. This morning, temperatures beginning in the 60s, 63 next hour. We're about 70 degrees at 10 in the morning. If you've enjoyed the lack of heat out there the last couple of days, well, we're going to keep it cool today. Highs this afternoon only in the mid to upper 70s. Right now, 67 North Las Vegas, 64 in Summerlin. We'll have some breezes from the north at about 20 miles per hour, and temperatures should evade the 80s. This is the first time since early May that we've projected highs in the 70s. We're going to try today, and we'll definitely only have highs in the 70s tomorrow. Tom, the weather hiccup this weekend is going to come in the form of some scattered showers. They're up to our north. They're light this morning. We'll time out when rain and thunderstorms could sneak into Las Vegas for you in just a moment.
All right, thanks, Justin. Well, now a way to turn your iPhone into a body camera. The update allows you to do this by saying, Siri, I'm getting pulled over. 13 Action News reporter Gina Lazara shows you the technology and tells you what our police expert has to say about it.
In this day and age, when you get pulled over, you know the interaction is being recorded by police, usually by a dash cam and or a body cam. But now, with Apple's latest iOS rollout, it's possible to turn your iPhone into your own body camera, if this is something you choose to do. iOS 12 allows you to download an app called Shortcuts. The shortcuts allow you to tell Siri to do more intricate demands. So a developer in Arizona created a way for you to tell Siri you're getting pulled over in order to record the interaction yourself. It's helpful if you have your iPhone mounted somewhere in your car instead of just on your lap or on your seat, so that when you do use this feature, you get the best possible footage.
If people want to add more and more technology to their lives, the police have nothing to fear about this. They're so used to being photographed all times anyway, it makes no difference to them.
The shortcut will also text your video and location information to someone you choose to be your emergency contact. The developer says this is supposed to be a hands-free operation, but I had some issues getting it to work with just Siri. With my experience, I had to manually hit record. Some other users online appeared to have the same problem. The creator admits the vast majority of the time, this shortcut won't even be necessary. Gina Lazara, 13 Action News.
Well, an RTC bus driver is now suspended. Passengers were first upset after the driver was late, but it got worse. One woman getting on the bus was talking on the phone with the RTC complaint line about that tardiness. The driver overheard and then tried to kick the woman off. That's when the woman started recording that heated exchange. And not only that, apparently the bus driver was also eating while on the job.
She's eating, and there's a school down there. If that bowl falls, it's going to go under the brakes, and she's going to take out all those high school kids crossing the street. I'm worried about the safety of these people.
RTC has given us a statement saying they don't allow their drivers to eat during service operations. The driver in this incident has been suspended pending their investigation. Well, now to some new information on a bizarre story. A car stolen from a repair shop and then used to destroy 2 cars in a big crash, raising even more questions. Mainly, who pays for all the destruction? 13 Action News reporter Brian Callahan shows you what factors determine who's responsible for all that damage.
Definitely somebody's going to hold justice for this.
Jamila Chapman is demanding answers after her SUV was stolen from a repair shop before the suspect crashed into 2 other cars, injuring 1 person.
Called and said that my car was stolen. How did my car get stolen?
Police say the suspect, Kiari Taylor, took the keys off a clipboard in a Meineke Car Care Center and left with the SUV. A GPS tracker eventually helped them locate the car, but not before Taylor crashed.
Literally, my car is totaled out.
Yeah.
Total.
So
I have 5 kids.
Chapman says she's still waiting to find out who will cover the damage. An attorney specializing in the industry says in these situations, the auto repair shops are tasked with taking reasonable care to make sure others do not have access to the customer's car. The lawyer telling 13 Action News the deciding factor will likely be around how visible the clipboards are to regular customers and how those clipboards are stored to limit access to the keys. Until Chapman gets her answers, she says her family is without a way to get around.
Now I'm going to have to get on the bus thanks to Meineke.
We're told the manager here at the Meineke involved was not available this afternoon, and Chapman says she's still waiting for a call back from the corporate office. Reporting near Nellis and Bonanza, Brian Callahan, 13 Action News.
Crazy story. Thanks, Brian. Well, now to an important milestone. Yesterday marked 1 year since the explosive allegations against movie mogul Harvey Weinstein that brought the hashtag #MeToo movement to the forefront. That movement has changed the conversation around sexual harassment and sexual assault and the actions that are taken. Women have taken to social media with that hashtag, telling their own stories, including many celebrities. The MeToo hashtag was created by Tarana Burke more than a decade ago. One of the first people to face online harassment, Monica Lewinsky, praised Burke.
I think it's been extraordinary, and for younger generations, it will never be the same.
Many survivors and activists feel there is still more to be done. This movement launched the Time's Up campaign, an organization that helps women in Hollywood and beyond. And after the rape allegation against the superstar, some of Cristiano Ronaldo's sponsors are concerned. EA Sports released a statement saying it's closely monitoring the situation. Ronaldo is the face of the company's popular soccer video game. He's denied the allegation, and he's set to play today in the Italian league match.
Fire in the hole!
And take a look at this. Yesterday, crews blasted a patch of bedrock along the State Route 160, just east of Mount Potosi. This is part of a $58.6 million widening project that began this summer. Well, a few UFC fighters made a very special visit to Sunrise Children's Hospital yesterday. The visit, all part of an effort to put smiles on the faces of the children being treated there. Hall of Famer Forrest Griffin says he had fun meeting the kids and serving as a distraction from everything they're going through.
They have to fight that battle all day, whereas it's kind of nice sometimes to just come in and talk about something other than, you know, why you're in the hospital.
Now, this was all part of UFC 229's Fight Week. Well, happening today, parents and students are invited to CCSD's Magnet School Fair. The event will feature displays, performances, and demonstrations from all 45 of the district's magnet schools. The fair is happening from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Spring Valley High School. And also happening today, Imagine Dragons frontman Dan Reynolds will be honored by the LGBTQ Community Center of Southern Nevada. This will be at the center's 25th anniversary honorarium at the Red Rock Resort and Casino. Reynolds, who is a Las Vegas native, will be receiving the Allies of the Year award on behalf of his band. Well, good morning, everyone. Coming up, if you spend a lot of time on your phone, why not get paid for it? Easy ways you can make cash just by downloading an app.
We are dry this Saturday morning, but look at these light showers just up to our north in Lincoln County. Later today, after lunchtime, we run the risk of a few isolated thunder showers. Better chances we head towards sunset. We'll see how long the downpours could last and talk about a really big cool down with 7-day plan.
Well, ditching the 9-to-5 to become your own boss. It's more common now than ever before, and it's right in the palm of your hand. We're talking about apps that many people are using, and they're seeing big success. Rich Mbaraket began his business on Poshmark. That's an app that allows you to sell some of your old clothes. The concept is pretty simple on Poshmark. You just snap a picture, upload it, set a price, and wait for someone to buy.
I got into it many years ago, about 5 years ago, that I actually started making it into a business. Prior to that, it was something that I did as a hobby.
It's been so successful for Rich, he now started a small online store in his home, and he even makes his own briefcases and shoes. That's pretty cool.
That's impressive. If you're going to do the side hustle thing, which so many people do, on top of your regular gig, that's impressive to me. I feel like once I leave here, do I want to work anymore?
I mean, Justin Bruce just started posting his forecasts on social media, and then now he got a job here.
There you go. There you go. That's how it works. Let me tell you, Tom, we have temperatures in the 70s this weekend. I was just checking the weather records, was elbow deep in the data. It hasn't been as cool as we're forecasting today in 157 days. Since May the 2nd. Do you remember May the 2nd? I don't. It was in the 60s then. That's as long as it's been since we've had highs below 80 degrees.
It's like a switch just went off this week.
The switch from summer to like the middle of fall. Yeah, highs only in the 70s, the coolest day since the 2nd of May. It should last highs in the 70s through the middle of the week. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, cooler than average. And in some instances, like a lot cooler than average. 79 today, that's 6 degrees below the norm. 75 the high on Sunday, 10 degrees cooler than usual, and we'll keep it about that much cooler than average through early next week. Watching some of these light showers to our north. We fast forward to the middle of the day and run futurecasts into the afternoon. Okay, this looks like it could be a bit active through the afternoon and even into this evening. We will run the risk for some passing showers. I mentioned that things should stay dry this morning. We'll be in and out of some cloud cover during most of the day, but it would be the afternoon, 1, 2, 3 p.m. When that chance of a few isolated showers or storms will show up. So we'll keep an eye on the sky this afternoon. You can always download the free KTNV app and take a look at interactive weather radar when you're on the go. It's handy when the forecast calls for spotty showers this afternoon. Look at this, though. If you've got some dinner plans, we could deal with a few downpours moving from west to east, especially on the south side of the valley through the early evening. This would bring the potential for brief heavy rain as well as a few rumbles of thunder. I think most of that action is out of our hair before midnight. This morning, dry, mostly cloudy, and quite cool. Temperatures outside running in the mid to upper 60s this morning. By lunchtime, we're 73, and you can see at least the threat of a few isolated showers and storms from mid-afternoon right on through late day into the early evening. Our temperatures are not going to heat up all that much because of a north breeze. Today, that wind is manageable at about 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, the gust will hit 30 miles per hour, so windy on Sunday, and that will drive temperatures to the mid-70s. We'll wake up to upper 50s and low 60s early next week. 70s, Tom, like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, back a little milder, a little closer to average, low 80s Thursday, Friday.
Best time of year, get out and enjoy it. Well, straight ahead, if you think the Cirque du Soleil shows here are great, wait until you see this, how the performers are taking their skills to new heights. But first, let's head over to New York for a look at what's coming up on Good Morning America.
Good morning. Coming up on GMA, we're just hours away now from a defining vote on whether Judge Brett Kavanaugh will become Supreme Court Justice. Brett Kavanaugh. The Republicans appear to have the votes, and this morning the president's spokesman will be here live. Plus, an outpouring of emotion in Chicago. A police officer found guilty of second-degree murder after shooting a young black man 16 times on camera. How the crowds of protesters outside the courthouse reacted to the verdict and how much time that officer is now facing. And finally, look at this, a vintage plane making an emergency landing on a highway in Mississippi. What happened just moments before that aircraft touched down? It is all coming up on GMA on a busy Saturday. We'll see you soon.
Well, a Colorado woman becomes a viral sensation. She defended a couple of Spanish-speaking women in a grocery store. The whole encounter caught on camera.
You leave these women alone. Get out. Go.
Kamara Trent says she had to step in when she saw a woman telling two Hispanic women to speak English and be American. She says the two women looked scared, even trying to walk away from that situation, but that other woman wouldn't let it go. Kamara did not know that she was being recorded. She says she hopes that this video will inspire people to stand up for others. Good to see. Well, Las Vegas magician David Copperfield has filed a lawsuit against a German company for replicating a flying object used in his performances. According to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, the company broke a 2014 promise to not build the similar technology when it signed an agreement with another unnamed Las Vegas magician. On Thursday, a Las Vegas judge issued a restraining order barring the company from delivering that flying object to any illusionist. Earlier this year, Copperfield was forced to reveal the secrets behind another popular illusion after a tourist sued him claiming the trick injured him. The jury sided with Copperfield and indicated that the tourist was at fault. Well, we're a 24/7 town, right? Well, now you can apply to get a passport in Las Vegas whenever you need to. The main post office on East Sunset now has a 24-hour passport service, but you still have to make an appointment. The U.S. Post Office recommends to apply for a passport at least 2 months before your departure. A passport book, by the way, is $145 for adults. A new scam to warn you about here in Nevada. The Public Utilities Commission of Nevada says you need to be on the lookout for deceptive text messages from a solar company. That company is reportedly offering free services related to a program advertising residential solar improvements and mentions the Public Utility Commission. The commission wants consumers to know that they are not affiliated with any commercial solar companies. Well, check this out. An incredible way to view the Seattle skyline. Take a look. These Cirque du Soleil performers on top of the Space Needle. Wow, that's pretty high up. They're part of the show Volta. They're at the top. They're striking a pose. Now, that antenna is more than 600 feet high. The artist's performance was meant to celebrate the show's last month in town. Pretty cool. Well, we'll be back with a final check of your First Alert forecast. You're watching 13 Action News, where you get breaking news fast and first. Stay with us.
Another check of that forecast, watching some showers to our north in Lincoln County. Some clouds over Las Vegas Valley right now, but we should stay dry this morning. We're going to climb from the 60s now into the upper 70s this afternoon. That's actually way cooler than it has been for the last several months. The issue this afternoon, the chance of a few spotty passing showers. And look at this, right around and after sunset, 6 to 7 o'clock. Also the chance of a few more thunder showers. Nothing severe, but a rumble of thunder and a downpour on a Saturday evening on the Las Vegas Strip would catch some people's attention. It'll be windy tomorrow and in the mid-70s. And Tom, welcome to fall. I know it started a little while ago.
It's like a switch went off, you know, but this is the best time of year for hiking. Just get out and enjoy it.
I've said it time and time again the last few days. It's nice to be outside and not sweating your brains out.
Exactly. Well, enjoy it. We'll be back at 8. See you then.